How about you? How was it for you? What was your experience?
It was really cool. I had a lot of fun. Got to pray for a couple people, and it was just totally different than what I've ever seen.
Okay.
It was really nice.
Good. You, sir?
Yeah, it was really cool. I was just surprised at how, like, bad they just looked in their rooms. I was like, wow, how can they be living in this?
Yeah, for sure.
I understand that.
I enjoyed it. I'd do it again.
Okay.
I just most of the time was just trying to kind of taking it in, like the conditions they're living in, and then when I heard how much they're paying for it.
Yeah, that's always a surprise.
I like seeing some of their reactions though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Emily?
I was surprised how different their living conditions were. It's like if they opened the door enough, you could see in a little bit more, and it's just like, wow, this is how they live.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just made me realize like the power of prayer, and like it was just awesome. And like Erin and I, there was this one room we went to, and like I don't know, he might have been cracked out or something, but he had like a 7-year-old son, and just to see like how it affects not the person doing it or living, but how it affects the people around you and your family was really powerful for me.
Yeah, it's definitely an experience that's worthwhile. Just I'd do it again, definitely. And just I'm so glad that we got to pray with some of them, and just, you know, whether it was planting that seed that hopefully it'll grow, and they'll just find some help, and some other people come along and help them too.
I have a question for you guys. How about you? How was it?
It was a good experience. These guys always blow me away as far as what they are capable of doing and what the Lord leads them to do. But I've never been in a hotel or apartment like that, and you see I watch a lot of cop dramas and stuff. And I always think about cops knocking the doors down and that kind of stuff, and so just smelling it and being there and feeling it and kind of being in that is, just trying to be a light. Just trying to be Jesus.
Yeah. It's but as you said earlier, light shines in the dark places.
Yep.
It really does.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Yeah.
Well, kind of like Steven said, I didn't really know what to expect, and so when we walked in, I was like, "Oh, okay, this is it. All right." And then as we walked up, I was like getting a little nervous, but after a couple of them, and then we came to the last lady, and she had HIV, and she was kind of excited because she was like, "Well, I'm taking my medications, and hopefully I'll be able to live for 2 to 10 years." And then I was talking to Mandy just like 5 minutes ago about it, and it's sad to know that she's probably not going to live very long. But I had a chance to pray with her, and we got to pray with her, and so to me, like I was telling Mandy, like I just pray to God that she knows the Lord, and when she does pass away, she is going to be up in heaven. So, yeah.
Right on.
It was really cool just to be able to experience that, just because I feel like I've kind of been like sheltered from that, I guess, you know what I mean? Just kind of, that was kind of my first experience to just really like experiencing it. It was kind of like a whole different, world kind of, and I'm just sheltered from it, I guess, and just to see that was just like, wow, eye-opening.
Definitely. I understand. How about you?
I was kind of nervous about it because I didn't know what to expect, and like to knock on the doors like one after another, like no one would come to the door, and you don't know like what they're gonna say to you, or if they're gonna yell at you, or if they're gonna want prayer and like accept the food and stuff. So I was just kind of nervous about it. And same with Mandy, like I've been sheltered from it, so you don't know really what's gonna happen, or like it opens up your eyes and saying, like you said, like there's worse than that, and I'm just like, whoa, like how, like that's worse to me. So.
Definitely.
All right. You, sir?
It just showed me like how we walk by all these buildings and we just don't think anything of it. And there's actually people in these buildings, lots of people, and that we never see. And it just reminds me of the forgotten people that we just don't even think about or care about because we're too busy with our own lives. And so that just reminded me of that.
All right.
it's just very sombering. It gives you a little sick feeling in the stomach that people actually live in stuff like that.
Yeah.
You walk down the streets and you see people living on the streets, and that's like one thing. But when you see people actually living in things like that, and you kind of compare it to how you live, and you're like, I'm just incredibly blessed. I mean, I don't have a lot compared to what the world thinks, but I have so much.
Yeah.
I walk in there with my $100 North Face fleece, and they're like laying in their bed in their underwear, and that's what they have, and it's just
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Right.
Yeah.
About the escorts. How was that? How was it? Yeah, I'll put you on the spot. Come on.
I mean, it's the same old. I've been out here for like a year or so it's nothing new to me. But from hearing from you guys, the word that comes to me is being grateful.
Yes.
That you guys are not in that situation and stuff. And a lot of them in there don't have family or friends and are lonely and stuff. And what you guys did today is showing that somebody actually does care, and that you guys are planting seeds, for them, that there is hope out there. Also, I mean, I never maybe got to that point, but pretty close. And it's pretty much was falling away from God. I mean, I remember I was in youth group and all that, dropped out, and I went about the world. And the farther I fell from God, the worse the conditions get. But we all are children of God, and remember that. And the prayer you said for them, hopefully, will start to resonate, and then the light will shine upon them, and that they will be saved and come up out of that. So what you guys did today was great. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, the hotels are, I mean, they're no surprise to me. I left home when I was 17, and I started getting involved in drugs when I was 12 years old. So I'm real familiar with how things go out here, what happens up inside the hotels. I was like a part of a lot of the evil things that went on inside of these hotels. But Jesus has changed that for me in my life. And I can imagine it, it being a little, I don't want to say scary, but I mean just uncomfortable for you guys, because you just like you said, you see things on TV and you just, sometimes TV will hype things up, but then sometimes what we see on TV is true. And but I think what you folks are doing is great. I mean, because the last group I went with, I told them, it's pretty much how Jesus conducted most of his ministry, was walking around the country and talking to people outdoors and going to the people, because none of these people in these hotels, well, I shouldn't say none, but probably 98% of them will never step into an organized church building, and I think it is important, and it is a great sacrifice on your behalf to come and go in to where they are and just go seek them and just let them know that people do care, and that Jesus is alive, and praying for people is that I believe that's very important too. And it's fantastic. I mean, because they realize the fact that they know how the building smells. They all know what goes on inside there, and then for people to walk through that and still come to see them and to care enough to bring them a lunch and ask for prayers, like it plants that seed that, wow, maybe I should really get to know this Jesus character that that these people talk about every time they come here through this mess. I mean, because they see how we're dressed too, like you said, and it's like one recognizes the other real quickly. But it's I think it's a great outreach, just to reach out to these people that nobody typically would even, like you said, they would even see. I mean, you see it on the street, but actually up inside all these hotels up and down 6th Street in this 2-block radius, that's what all these hotels are. They're all the same as the one you just saw. And but there's hope. There's hope. God's working here. God's working in this city in powerful ways, and y'all are part of it, and I appreciate that too.